welcome and good morning, everyone. So thank you all for presenting today's board meeting. I am General Tan Sri Muhammad, the chairman of this meeting. Without any hesitation, I would like to start the meeting now. So Jasmine, could you please confirm the presence of quorum?
Sure, Tan Sri. So everyone is present except Madam Lee, who is absent due to her internet problem. So we shall proceed with the meeting now.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. So since the requisite quorum is present, so I hereby call the meeting to order. I would like to commence the meeting by introducing our fellow company director, which is Dato' Akbar bin Shukri, Dato' Nazir bin Amin, Puan Sri Lim Teng Yi, Encik Idris bin Yusof, and Dato' Nathanael. So beside, I would like to welcome to our director from the crowd, Hong Kong Live. All right, with the consent of the members present, I declare that the notice of board meeting having been circulated for the prescribed period was taken as read. So Jasmine, can you please read the procedure of the meeting and explain the voting procedure to us?
All right, Tan Sri. The procedure for the meeting will follow the agenda written in the notice of the board meeting. The chairman will announce to end the discussion of any resolution and go into voting. All of the resolutions set out in the notice of board meeting would be voted by show of hands. Every director has one vote, and a resolution is passed if it's agreed by all the directors present without dissent, or if a majority of the votes cast are in favor of it. Any questions? If there isn't, Tan Sri, you may proceed with the first agenda.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. Let's move to the first agenda, which is to review and approve the audited financial statement for the financial year ended 31st December 2020. So I would like to invite our director from the MERS Group to give opinion on the audit of the financial statement.
Okay, thank you, Tan Sri. As independent auditor, we have audited the financial statement of Caxionic Group Berhad, which comprise the statement of financial position of the group and of the company as at 31st December 2020, and the statement profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flow of the group and the company for the financial year then ended, and notes to the financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies as set on page 14 to 96. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement give a true and fair view of the financial position of the group and the company as at 31st December 2020, and of the financial performance and the cash flow for the financial year that ended in accordance with Malaysian Financial Reporting Standard (MFRS), International Financial Reporting Standard (IFRS), and the requirements of Company Act 2016 in Malaysia.
Okay, I believe that everyone has read through the audited financial statement. So is there any question to ask? If you have any question, you can write your question in the chat box or unmute your mic.
Yes, I have a question for the auditor. I wish to ask why the statement of profit or loss shows that our cost of sales increased drastically compared to the previous year.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you for the questions. Yes, the cost of sales did increase by about 8 million. It is because the cost service rendered had occurred in 2020, while it did not happen in the previous year.
I see. So that was the reason why our cost of sales had increased. Since the profit margin has dropped, are we still able to maintain the 4% profit distribution to the shareholders?
Oh, okay. From my point of view, I think the company should be able to maintain the dividend rate at 4% as the company's performance is healthy.
All right, thank you for your explanation.
Okay, are there any more questions? No. Okay, if not, all right. If there is no more question, I would like to put the resolution to vote. So please raise your hand if you agree to approve the audited financial statement. All right, since everyone agrees, I hereby declare the resolution of to review and approve the audited financial statement of the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2020 is passed. Thus, the audited financial statement will be presented in the next AGM for the discussion only. We will now continue with the next resolution, which is to approve reports and statements related to the financial statement of the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2020. I would like to invite Mr. Idris as a representative to give opinion of the director.
Okay, thank you, Tan Sri. In the opinion of the directors, the result of the operation of the groups and the company during the financial year were not substantially affected by any item, transaction or event of a material and unusual nature. In addition, the financial statements set out on page 14 to 96 are drawn up in accordance with MFRS, IFRS, and the requirement of the Company Act 2016 in Malaysia.
Thank you, Mr. Idris. I guess there should be no question, right, on the director's report?
Yes.
All right, now I would like to put the resolution to vote. Please raise your hand if you agree to approve the director's report and auditor's report. All right, since everyone agrees, I hereby declare the resolution to approve report statement related to the financial statement of the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2020 is passed. Thus, the director's report and auditor's report will be presented in the next AGM along with the audited financial statement for the discussion only. Now we will continue with the re-election of the director. As common practice, we will need to choose 1/3 of our board director for retirement by rotation. So 2 of us will be retiring from the board during the AGM. This is according with the Company Act 2016. Okay, for your information, Datuk Natanai and Puan Sri Lim Teng Yi will be the director to retire from the board during this AGM. So, Jasmine, could you please elaborate on this?
Sure, Tan Sri. According to the Companies Act 2016, the directors who hold office for the longest time since the last election should retire by rotation from the board. In relation to this, I have referred to the register of directors and highlighted that Dato' Natanai has held office for the longest time since 28 September 2018. In addition to what Tan Sri Muhammad mentioned just now, there is another situation stated in the Companies Act 2016 for the member to retire from the board, which is if there is a director that has been appointed during the year to fill in a casual vacancy. Then the director shall only hold office until the next AGM and retire from the board during that AGM. With regards of this, Puan Sri Lim Teng Yi has been appointed by the board during May 2020, will need to retire from the board during this AGM. Dato' Nathan already informed me that he will voluntarily retire from the board during the AGM.
I think what Jasmine mentioned is true, and both of them shall retire from the board in this year.
I understand what Jasmine mentioned. I will retire from the board as well. However, the retired director can be re-elected again during the next AGM, right?
Yes, indeed. Companies Act 2016 states that a retired director can be re-elected if the retired director agrees and a regular regulation is passed by all the members.
Okay, in relation to what Jasmine mentioned just now, I would like to ask you all whether you all agree or not to re-elect Dato' Nathan and Puan Sri Lim as director of the company. Those who agree with the re-election of both of them as our director, please raise your hand. All right, so everyone is agree with the re-elected of director during the next AGM. As a result, I would like to conclude that during the next AGM, 2 directors will retire from the board, which is Dato' Nathan will retire by rotation, and Puan Sri Lim will also retire because the appointment of director was not done through the AGM. They will, however, be re-elected to the board of the director on the next AGM. All right. So no more question regarding this? No. Okay, hereby I will declare the agenda is resolved. So I will proceed with our next agenda regarding the remuneration, or to be specified the fees or benefit to the directors. Therefore, I would like to ask Dato' Akbar to brief more on this agenda.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So first of all, there are a few proposals that related to this agenda. Firstly is to set the director fees and benefit at the same amount as the previous financial year. So why this proposal arise is to give the consideration to Sonic financial position, as we need to consider the operating costs to ensure that the company could gain profit.
I believe that this proposal will actually help to maintain the company's financial position during the pandemic, as we have some difficult hurdles as well.
Yes, I support this proposal.
Yes,
I agree too.
Sorry, but can I know what is included in the remuneration?
Okay, sure, Datuk Nazir. So the remuneration is included indemnity and insurance for the directors and officers. So in compliance with the sections 289 of Companies Act, the group and the company will maintain the directors and officers liability insurance. It also includes the fees, salaries, and also other emoluments.
Okay, thank you for the explanation, Dato' Akbar. So I think all of us have an agreement on this agenda.
Yes.
Okay, we will continue with our next agenda, which is the reappointment of auditor and fixing remuneration of auditor. As all of us know, Ms. Ong Kong Lai with Mrs. Crow Malaysia PLC has been appointed as our auditor and will continue for the next financial year. So therefore, I would like to seek your approval regarding the appointment of our auditor. Please raise your hand if you agree with this. Okay, since everyone agrees, we will proceed on fixing the remuneration of the auditor. So, Mr. Ong Kai Lai, we find that there is an increment on auditor remuneration, which is from 82,500 ringgit to 85,000. Please explain on this matter.
Okay, yes, actually the increment is because our auditors need to bear few costs when they are doing audit work. And the increase in the remuneration is parallel with the burden of work they did.
Okay, if so, did other directors have any suggestion or objection regarding this matter?
No.
No. Okay, so I can conclude here that we agree on the appointment of Ms. Ong Kong Lai as our auditor with the auditor remuneration 85,000 ringgit. Okay, everyone? So we will move to our sixth agenda, which is about the authority to issue shares pursuant to Section 75 and Section 76 of Company Act 2016. So, Ms. Jasmine, could you please help me to explain this to all the directors?
Sure, Tan Sri. Subject to Section 75 and 76 of the Companies Act 2016, the directors of the company are empowered to issue and allot shares upon the approval by way of resolution by the company has been obtained. And further than that, such authority shall commence immediately upon passing of this resolution and continue to be in force until the conclusion of the next annual general meeting of the company.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. With regards to this, do you all have any question about this?
No.
No. Okay, if there is no question, for those who agree and approve with this matter, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. And hereby I will declare that the agenda has been resolved. Okay, we will now continue with the next agenda, which is regarding the requisition to remove Dato' Nathan as our director of the company and the appointment of the director, which is Mr. Sani Abdullah. So Jasmine, could you please explain on the special notice for requisition that we have received?
So, on the 4th of May, we have received a special notice for requisition from Mr. Hamza and Mr. Abdul Hamid Badro regarding the requisition for an extraordinary general meeting, which is the EGM, to discuss the ordinary resolutions of removal of Dr. Nathan from his office as director and the appointment of Mr. Sani Abdullah to be the director of the company. Regarding this, Tan Sri Muhammad would like to seek the suggestion and ideas from every director regarding this resolution.
I wonder the reason for the members to issue this special notice. Do they mention anything regarding this?
No, Puan Sri, but during the board meeting, we will discuss on this issue. Then we will bring this to the EGM for the resolution of members.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. So regarding the removal of Dr. Nathan from his office as director, I would like to suggest he remain as director of our company. As from what I observe, he is very committed and performing director as he never skip board meeting, and he did do this his job during the holding of the office. So besides, he is also active in helping the companies to plan strategic plans and providing suggestion and solution when there is any problem. So how about the others?
Right, so I actually agree with Tan Sri Muhammad because since when Datuk Nathan works for the company as a director, he is always participative and contributes more than as a director of the company. Moreover, he is also transparent enough and disclose all of the information that relates to the interest of Katsunic Group Berhad to the company. So I can't see any reason to remove him from the office.
Thank you for the recognition, and I just do what I can do for the company.
Okay, perhaps there is some misunderstanding from the company members and we should figure it out.
Okay, yes, true. So shall we vote now for the removal of Datuk Nathan from the office?
Yes.
All right, Dr. Nathan, so please be presented and prepare yourself for the EGM because the final decision will be on the shareholders.
All right, thank you everyone.
Okay, now we will proceed with the appointment of the new director, Mr. Sani Abdullah. So Jasmine, could you please send the detail of Mr. Sani Abdullah? Okay, thank you, Jasmine. So the document shows the background of Mr. Sani Abdullah. There are few things that can be concluded from me that he was the director of Hydra Oil Berhad, and now he holds the directorship in Berjaya Berhad. Meanwhile, he is an MIA member and has experience before in our industry. So I think he can be a good candidate for the director of our company. So what do you all think about this?
Yes, for me, he is a qualified candidate for becoming director of our company because he can use his expertise when it comes to formulating company strategic plans and solutions. Besides, I think he could also become our independent director because from the document, I can see he is free from any interest that is related to our company.
Yes, I also agree with this. However, we will need to go through some procedures and get the vote during the EGMs, and then can only know the result.
Okay, yes, Dr. Akbar. So if there is no question, I would like to get a vote regarding the approval of the appointment of Mr. Sani Abdullah as our company director. If you agree with this, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Good, everyone. In conclusion, based on our voting just now, Datuk Nathan will not be removed from the office as the director, and Mr. Sani Abdullah is approved to be the director of the company. So we will see the result during the EGM. So I declare that the agenda is resolved. Okay, we will continue with the next agenda. I heard that the CCM has released a guideline on beneficial owners disclosures. So can someone explain about the BO in detail?
Sure. As the Companies Act 2016 define BO as the ultimate owner of the shares and does not include a nominee of any description. A clarification is required to ensure that a company is able to identify the natural person who ultimately owns or have control over the company. To this end, the definition of BO must also be read together with Section 8 of the Companies Act 2016.
And under the BO reporting framework, a company is required to take reasonable steps to identify, obtain, and verify the BO information, record the BO information into the register of BO, and keep the BO information accurate and up to date and can be accessed in a timely manner.
And also, a company is required to update the BO information whenever there is a change to the particular of the BO, and then notify to the registrar. Keep the BO information and supporting document at the register office or where the register of member, register of partner is being kept. And give access to competent authorities, law enforcement agencies, the BO whose name has been entered in the register of BO, and any other person authorized by the BO.
Okay, thank you, Dato' Nazir, Puansli, and Mr. Idris Yusof for the explanation. So let's proceed for the last agenda. For our last agenda is to approve the resolution to hold the next AGM on 25th June 2021. So is everyone okay with the date? Okay, Jasmine, can you check whether we have any important event for the company at that date?
Sure, Tan Sri. We don't have any company events during that day, so I assume we should be able to carry out the AGM.
Okay, good, Jasmine. So will Argus be available on that day?
I also available on that day.
Me too.
So,
I'm only available from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Okay, okay then. So, but everyone is okay if we do the EGM after the AGM?
Yes.
Yes, can.
Okay, so we will have our next AGM on the 25th of June 2021. We will use this virtual web platform, which is Google Meet at 9 a.m. And after finishing the AGM, we will continue for the EGM on the same virtual meeting.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. So after this, you can prepare the notice of both AGM and EGM.
Yes, Tansri, I will send the notice on both AGM and EGM after this.
Okay, so I will repeat again. Our AGM and EGM will be held on 25th June 2021 at Google Meet platform at 9 a.m. Alright, we already finished all of our agenda. So Miss Jasmine, could you conclude all that we have discussed today as a review?
Sure, Tansri. So the first agenda, we approve the audited financial statement. For the second agenda, we also approve the report statement. Dato' Nathan and Puan Sri will retire and both of them will be re-elected. The fees and benefits for directors are also approved. And then the next agenda was to appoint Ms. Ong Kong Lai as our auditor with remuneration of 85,000. So we appointed them. The sixth agenda was the approval of authority to issue share person. And then we also discussed on the removal of Dato' Nathan, which is we have decided to retract and we will be reappointing him as a director in the next EGM. We also discussed the beneficial owner, and then we lastly decided on the date for the AGM and EGM date, which is 25 June 2021.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. So if there is no more question, I think we can look for the motion for adjourn.
I propose that the meeting to be adjourned.
Yes, me too.
Okay, now I will declare this meeting stand adjourned. So thank you for all the contribution for this meeting, and this meeting has ended now. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.